Just a reminder of what we're doing this week. Today is Tuesday, January 5th. We're talking about research today. Very quick video. And so this week, you are reviewing the syllabus, which you hopefully read through yesterday. There is a quiz next Monday, January 11th. Today we're focusing on research. So we're just kind of introducing to the idea of research. And tomorrow we're going to start thinking about potential topics. So what is research? The objective of this lesson is to really get you thinking about what research is, how it's important, and really just I want to know like what your preconceived notions are of research, what you're thinking about this class. And we're doing this work in our writer's notebook. So this is the entry for today. It's entry 14, first entry of January. Oh my gosh, I put 2020. I meant to put 2021. I don't want to be in 2020. The title is What is Research? So to complete this entry, you need to watch this video, which you're doing. And you want to copy and paste this handout into your writer's notebook and answer the questions as you follow along in the video. So I think there are 5 sets of questions. Make sure that whenever you are creating this entry, you do a couple of things. This is just to remind you of how to organize effectively. So for the title, you want to make sure that you you highlight the title and make a heading out of the title. That will help you organize your document. And then please also differentiate your text from the questions that you insert into your writer's notebook. So whether that's you bullet your answers or you put your answers in a different color, just differentiate it somehow, whatever works best for you, so that whenever I go to read them, I'm not going to have a hard time trying to figure out where the question ends and where your answer begins. Okay? So before we get started with talking about research specifically and what it actually is, I want you to, after copy and paste your handout into your writer's notebook, answer this question. So what is research? How would you define research yourself? And how do you think that you benefit daily from others' research or from your own research? So pause the video and answer these questions. Okay, now, if we were in class, this would be the point where I would ask you what your thoughts were. But since we're not in class, sadly, I really should have done this on like Google Hangouts or something. That would have been fun. Probably not fun. Probably difficult. No, it would have been fun. So since we're not in class, I can't ask you right now. I can't have a conversation with you, but I am going to go through and read your thoughts. So I am curious to know what you thought what research was before we started our discussion today. And I am curious to know how you think you benefit from others' research or from your own research. So I'm going to now talk about how I think you benefit daily from others' research or from your own research. And maybe you had some of these ideas as well. So research is literally has a hand in everything that we use. So you could consider it as like the world's biggest industry because you can't have anything without reliable research. So scientific breakthroughs, medical research, world affairs, problems that need to be solved, whether that's, like on a macro level or micro level, economics, anything with business and marketing, any kind of social issues, technology. So anything that you're creating, any problem that you're trying to solve, you cannot have really anything without having to do some type of research. So, those who cannot reliably do research or who can't reliably evaluate the research of others will find themselves kind of on the sideline. And I'm really going to hopefully focus on the importance of evaluating the research of others in this presentation. And if I don't do it well today, I will touch back upon it throughout this entire semester. So our world really, now more than ever, needs to depend on sound ideas based on information that is provided by trusted inquiry. I feel like this is really important. I feel like you need to write this down somewhere in your writer's notebook, highlight it, really keep it in your mind. So our world really is depending on sound ideas based on good information produced by trustworthy inquiry. I feel like we're kind of losing sight of that, which is really sad, disheartening, and kind of worrisome, honestly. So I think that this class is more timely than it has been in years past, because you as students and learners and readers and thinkers hopefully are going to go out in the world and understand how ideas are sound or not sound based on the way they were produced. And that's really one of the goals that I think I have for us in this class, to be able to effectively evaluate ideas based on how they were produced. Okay, I need it. All right. I just had to highlight that. Okay, so this is really, I think I've said this. Research reported by others in writing is the source of most of what we all believe. Now, I don't know if I really believe this anymore. And we can get into that later. But even if it's not good research, I guess it is reported by others in writing is the source of most of what we all believe. Yeah, that's something to think about, really. Okay, so here's really the definition that we're going to use for research this semester, which is research ultimately is gathering information to either answer a question or solve a problem. So that is something you need to write in your writer's notebook. I think there's actually a space for it on the handout that you copied and pasted. So research is gathering information to answer a question or solve a problem. Sometimes they're one and the same, but it's a little broad enough so that pretty much everything can be encompassed by that. Okay. This is definitely something that you need to answer in your writer's notebook. Why is research important? So we've already kind of been talking about why it's important. So one reason why research is important is because mistaken ideas, dangerous ideas, ideas that aren't sound can flourish because too many people accept them on not very good evidence. Oh man, no truer statement has been uttered lately. I feel like this is even more true than it was at this time last year in January 2020. And again, we can go into that a lot more later, but you see that over and over again, especially with the rise of social media. Okay. Oh, great. How do you see this happening in our world? So I really want to know how you think this is kind of presenting itself in the United States or just in the world at large today. So just take a few minutes under why research is important and type out your thoughts in your writer's notebook. So how do you see this particular situation happening in our world? So put your thoughts in your writer's notebook underneath this question. Okay. Now that you've done that, hopefully you did. Why should you learn to research? So it's not just about learning to research this class. It's really learning to think critically, read carefully, examine evidence, to not only help you make sense of the world, but to help you make sense of the ideas that are being presented to you. And I think that is so, so important. Not only just those skills not only will pay off like in college, of course, but those skills will really pay off in almost any career choice. Those skills will pay off for you as a citizen, and being able to navigate the information landscape that's thrown at you right now, because there are no signs of that slowing down. So being able to take in this information that you're being presented and read it critically, read it carefully, think critically about it, examine it, evaluate it, break it down, figure out, what are the good ideas, what are the not so good ideas. I mean, that is really at the heart of what I want you to learn in this class. And that is part of research. So it's really important to improving every facet of our lives. And in order to be able to effectively do that, you are going to be joining the conversation of people who are trying to do that. So take a moment, pause the video, and write your own ideas in your writer's notebook. Okay, you're writing this under why you should learn to research, but you're also adding your own ideas. So why do you think learning to research, learning to examine texts, learning to think critically about those texts, learning to pull the most important evidence and information from those texts in order to answer a question or solve a problem, why do you think that's important to do? Okay, at this point, if we're in class, I would really want to hear from you, but since I can't, make sure you write down your own thoughts because I want to read them. Okay, so why should we write up research? So one part of this class is that you are going to ultimately end the course with your own researched argument. So everything that we do before that is to kind of prep you for your final paper in this course. So why write up? Why write that research up? So there are really three main reasons why we write up research. So we want to write to remember what we've read. So careful researchers write from the beginning of their inquiry, the beginning of their project, so they can hold on to their data clearly. And if you've read through the syllabus, and especially under the plagiarism section, you know how important that is in order to avoid plagiarism, but also really to understand what you're reading, so you can always go back and revisit it later. So I'm going to give you some tools to help you write to remember. We're also going to write to understand. So writing as an act supports your thinking, not only by helping you understand what you've read better, what you found, but to help you find patterns of meaning. So writing to understand is really helpful in kind of being able to physically see your thinking as you're researching. And then finally, you want to write to gain perspective. So you want to write so that you can remember more accurately, so you can understand better, but also to see what you think more clearly. And that's really kind of the ultimate goal for this class is you're writing a researched argument. So you, as the researcher, as the writer, are coming up with your own argument based on what you've read, what you've researched, how you understand it, and what you think about it from what you understand about it. Okay, so in your writer's notebook, make sure you write down these thoughts. you can put them in your own words if you want, or you can just write down what I say here. Okay, final set of questions. This is really what I'm curious about for you. This is what I'm curious about, to read what you think. I don't know how I want to say it. Anyway, I really want to read this. So make sure you write it down. So what are your expectations? You read through the syllabus yesterday. If you haven't, please take a moment and go do that. So what are your expectations for the semester? What are you excited about, or what are you worried about? What do you hope to learn this semester, or what do you hope to improve upon? What questions do you have? So I want you just to write down all of your expectations for this course. Yeah. So what do you think? How's it going to go? Let me know. I want to read it. Okay. So we've done the syllabus review. You've read through it. We did a little bit of discussion about what is research and why it's important. You wrote that down in your writer's notebook. Tomorrow I'm going to come back with you thinking about potential research topics. So that's also going to be another writer's notebook entry. It's going to be a little bit more lengthy than what we did today. What we did today was just kind of like, a little bit of an introduction about what research is and what to expect from it, from this class a little bit. So whenever you get done with this, you're done for the day. Okay. See you tomorrow.